Hello everyone, Headed Hamster here, and welcome back to the grand finale of this only 4-part series, but still, it's the finale, so, let's make it a musical. Let's see, what song, something that's appropriate and fits thematically in with the series. How about "It's the end of the world as we know it"? Yeah, not really feeling it, nah. I don't think that fits. How about "I'm spinning around on a music box that's wound by a key"? Yeah, not really the vibe I'm going for. Also, completely out of my vocal range. No, it needs to be space themed. How about "You planet hunters at the bottom, you got fact and fantasy entwined, searching for planets except they haven't got one, but they gotta be forming readily given we've got 9. Yeah, closer, definitely space themed, but I want it to be more epic. What would fit the bill? Oh, I know just a song. Cue the music! Yeah, now that is properly epic. Solar system or bust, baby! Alright, so let's continue. Right. So, very quickly, carrying on from last time, not too much else to say. I will say one thing, I replaced most of the, yellow pieces, these, yellow pins, with, the normal black pins, mostly because with the frictionless yellow pins, the top bobbled so much it made this rattling noise as it spun, which I wasn't happy with. Although you'll see that I did keep one of them yellow, which, just to give some sense of orientation which way is the front. So, you can keep track of that. Actually, one other quick thing, speaking of which way is the front, if we pop Humpty Dumpty open, something I just noticed when replacing the pins, this is not symmetrical. If we zoom in, you'll notice that one of the holes has these ribs along the side to give it strength. Okay, but none of the other ones have those ribs, which is very odd. It's only this single hole that has these features, which, I'm not entirely sure why that's the case. Why one has it and the others don't. Why it's not just all 4 or none of them. But whatever. Right. Put it back together. Right. Also, one other quick thing to mention, quick mistake I made, or caveat. When opening bag 3, I definitely remarked like, oh my gosh, the 3 long pins in yellow, how novel. But then I sort of was like, oh wait, down here. But then again, I looked back, actually no, these are 5 long pins in yellow. So, no, I was right the first time. That was the first time I saw 3 long pins in yellow, so cool. Alright, so with those little caveats out of the way, let us continue. So, the trusty manual, relay instructions. So, this time round, we are working on the, I'm not sure what you would call it, the tip? The end effector, the earth holder, I'm not sure if there even is a name for the end of an orrery arm, but yeah, we are working on that. So, right, let's get the camera set up. Let's see. Something like that. There we go. That's a bit better. Right. Actually, for just the parts. Alright, so bag 4, which I believe, if I'm not mistaken, of the 4 bags, has the most gears in it, which makes me happy. Makes me a happy hamster. Right. There we go. Nothing like pouring out a bag of new Legos. And yes, I am using the plural with an S, because I don't give a damn. I know, technically it's supposed to be like sheep, where the plural is simply the singular, but you know what? English majors, come at me. I like the word Legos. Right. Another little baggie. Wow, that's a lot of pins. Dang. Alright, I can work with that. But I have to work with that. That's kind of the point of this exercise. And let's see. How about what? Gray. It's gray. So, let me get this straight. You gave me a set that features both gray and yellow 3 longs? How about what? Okay. Actually, speaking of colors, as far as this model goes, in the future, I was thinking this over, and I'm like, okay, so obviously we have these like crescent panels that are supposed to cover up a lot of the gaps and seams, but I've decided I don't like these. Get them out of here. But I've also kind of decided I'm not a big fan of the bright red either. That and the red in here as well. So something I will consider, because this is a 4 long, the standard color is black. So I can replace this with black and it'll just blend right in. And I'm pretty sure I have that component in black as well. I'll have to double check, but I'm pretty sure I have plenty of them. If not, oh well, but yeah, so I think I will replace a few parts with parts of a different color. I might even switch these out with black as well. I don't know, I'll have to see, but for right now, I just want it working. Right. So let us begin work on the end. Okay, so first of all, this actually comes with not 1, but 2 turntables in both sizes. Okay, yeah, no, right. This is something I was talking about last time. This, yeah, is just square cut. There is no bevel gear for this. Like, I can't drive it with a bevel gear on the side like this, which I'm not sure why they took that as a feature away from this. Yeah, no, that seems like kind of a backwards move, maybe to allow chain to go around this, but so yeah, I don't know. I think it's kind of silly that they took away the bevel gear feature on the turntable, but whatever. And then we got the little itty bitty tiny turntable. How cute. Yeah. There we go. Right. So yeah, first of all, start with the turntable and then add some pins to the bottom. Like so. Yeah, I will admit, so something, like I said, when I first saw the, what's the word I'm looking for? When I first saw the announcement for this set coming out, I definitely studied the official artwork and official, promotional images quite a lot to figure out, how does it work? What mechanism does it use? How many gears does it have? Etc, etc. And while the base of it is not super well detailed and there's a lot of things hidden from view, the thing that was shown very well, and I definitely studied out the wazoo, was the tip of the arm where Earth and Moon is. And yeah, no, really clever mechanism, really interesting. So I'll get into it as we get along, but yeah, no, I really love the design, and it's interesting that, again, just a really interesting design that they chose to have two axles running along the length of the arm. One which powers the counter rotation for Earth's tilt. The other, faster axle drives both the moon cycle, like the moon's orbit, and then the Earth's day and night cycle. Also, for those who are wondering about timing and gear ratios, at the end of this video, I'm gonna take some time to actually do the math, and then I'll come back and add it to the end of this video. So, for you, it'll just be part of the video. For me, I'll have to do some work off screen. But yeah, so yeah, we're building up this little itty bitty turntable now. This goes together like so. Very nice. Alright, right. And then we need another one. Yeah, quite a few of these two-way beams in this set. I get the feeling this is going to be a very common part moving forwards for LEGO, for the Technic sets, to have these, dual axis beam. It just seems like such a useful component that, honestly, this is a game changer. This, I'm gonna call it now, this will appear in all major LEGO Technic sets moving forwards for the foreseeable future. I cannot imagine LEGO going back on this, being like, nah, let's not use those anymore. Adding more pins. Yeah, what's up with all the pins? I mean, not that I'm complaining, though. Classic too long pin is a very useful element, but yeah, it's funny. We haven't really used all that many up to this point, and then suddenly here they all are. Now we're using a bunch of them. Oh well, sometimes the designs work out like that, I guess. Alright, okay, and so this now attaches... Oh, I see! Oh, that's interesting. I already see what's going on here. So, this is like those, and that pin will go in there. Oh, that's neat. And it flips over like so, and then... Wait a second. How is this disassemblable? Oh, I guess, okay, you take the black, the red, and the black off together as one unit. Okay, yeah. For a second, I'm like, wait, if you push a red pin in, it's stuck in there, and because this goes at 90 degrees, you can't put a rod through pushing it out the other side. You get the pin out. But no, you can take the red thing completely out as one unit, and then the blacks can come off. Okay, very good. Yeah, again, good LEGO principle is basically every set they've made are designed to be disassemblable. I think there's one exception. There's one weird set that doesn't follow the rule for some reason. But yeah, right. Now we just add 2 more of these red guys, like so. I've already talked about these ones, so I won't talk about them again. And now we just add the... I don't know, what's your thoughts? Do you like these like 2 long axles in red, or do you prefer the older style where they used to be black? I don't know, don't get me wrong, I like the red, but part of me also kind of like the black. I know why they changed it. Like, one of the reasons is not to get confused by the black pins, but I don't know, I kind of like the black rod or black axle. It blended in nicely with the sets. Didn't stand out too much. Get in there, you. There. Okay, you want? Oh, yeah. Come on. Bloody hell. You know what, I'm just gonna put this in like so. There we go. Get it started. And then... watch me struggle putting things together for an hour and a half. Yay! Entertainment! And in we go. There we go. And... huzzah! Did it! Which... okay, yeah, this ain't going nowhere. This is tough. This is strong, very strong turntable. But yeah, you got this little center section that can rotate. You got this section that can rotate, and then this top section that rotates. Excellent! Very good. Alright, 13 long beam. 3 pins into the end. This set definitely likes its black, but I mean, it makes sense, you know, space. What other color would you use? I guess you could be kind of like lean into the steampunk aesthetic and, you know, use like copper and brown and okay. The closest is orange these days, but yeah, you can use like brown and maybe tan and gold, which can look like brass. And then like grays, light and dark gray. Nope, 1 over. There we go. Let's see. So yeah, I'll just say this: I absolutely adore Lego Steampunk. Lego has not really done very much steampunk officially, but the fan community of Lego have definitely really embraced steampunk. Although, the one time Lego did do something that was sort of steampunk, was... oh, what was it? Lego Ninjago. One season of Ninjago had some very sort of steampunk style builds, and I really like that line. One in particular which I'm really happy with is... I forget what it's called, but like Ninjago flying airship. Like the bad guys got a really cool airship with like a big brown balloon. Yeah, really cool. Like very, very sort of steampunk-esque, and I definitely got a set. I was really happy with it. Sadly, I fell apart. I say that knowing full well I took it apart for pieces, but quiet you. But yeah, no. Actually, speaking of steampunk, let's see. Do I have it? Yes. Right here. There's one. Just rummaging through my Lego parts bin, I found this guy. Now, pop quiz. Does anyone know where this character actually comes from? Let's see if I can zoom in on it. Focus. There we go. Yeah. So, some of you might immediately recognize this minifigure, this official minifigure, and you know, to those, I'll say, good job. To the rest of you, I pose a question. Does this not look like a perfect, like, steampunk sort of airship pilot figure? Like he's got the hair, he's got the beard, he's got the coat, like the deep navy blue coat with like the fluffy hooded collar, and then even like gloves. Like he has these sort of they're not white, they're sort of a tan, like an off tan gloves, which are really cool. And then the brown sort of nougat pants, which yeah, really love this. Really, there we go. Yeah, really love this character. Very much looks like a sort of aviator, sort of minifig of the skies type character, which I absolutely adore. Now, for those who were playing the guessing game, answer time. I actually did look him up. I decided to figure out, okay, where the hell does this minifigure actually come from? Turns out it comes from Star Wars, of all things. Yeah, not a series which I would typically associate with steampunk, although they do have some interesting vehicles and machines, but yeah, not usually what I would call steampunk per se. But yeah, no, that minifigure comes from, oh, I forget the name of it. What was it? What was it? Shoot, now I'm forgetting, damn it. It was a big white spaceship with folding wings. I'll put a picture of it here. Ding. And yeah, it came from that set. So yeah. But yeah, just such a cool, like, little minifig dude. Okay, I see. So they want me to attach this like so. There we go. There we go. That's a bit better in frame. Alright, and so, yeah. Just building the thing out. Yeah, once again, we get this interesting having to have multiple axles all go through each other concentrically. Which is such an interesting sort of design challenge, design problem of trying to solve, especially in LEGO, which, like I said, LEGO doesn't really support concentric axles very well. And so, don't get me wrong, I do appreciate having this model, but good god, could you imagine someone trying to do the entire solar system all, well, what is it, 8 now? 8 planets plus the moons? Like, that would be just insane. But, you know, hey, open challenge. Anyone who's willing to put in the effort, do it. I would love to see it. Right. Now we're doing another sub-assembly. Color me surprised. Right. Oh yeah, these little Technic boots. They're cute. Yeah, the little brother of the well, they're the little brother of the 3x5 L piece. Like I said, very cute. Maybe not as useful as this, but I do still find these rather useful, and yeah, they can definitely, they have their place. And the Technic hole definitely can be of use sometimes, if you have it powering something or being powered by something. Let's see. Okay, now I'll need axle and pin. That connects there. Oh, okay, so yeah. Here are this element in gray, which, as mentioned earlier, was in white. Which is sort of unusual. Like, LEGO doesn't, like, yeah, LEGO normally doesn't switch the colors of the pieces mid-set. Usually they, especially if it's a functional piece that no one's gonna see or it's not super aesthetic, like, usually LEGO would choose one color and stick with it, unless they absolutely had to have multiple colors for visual sake. Usually they don't usually they keep with one color and just double down on it, and even if it doesn't make sense, like having a silly color inside a model, like, they would just do that. But yeah, that feels weird having multiple, or the same part in multiple colors for seemingly no reason. Like, I feel like this could easily be done in white, and like, nothing would be lost in terms of the aesthetic of the model. But okay, I mean, I'm guessing there's a reason. Maybe the white piece is just more expensive and it was just cheaper to include the very common gray piece, even if it meant multiple colors and the inventory management of all that. I don't know. That's just speculation on my part. Our first gear. Well, I mean, okay, not counting the turntables. Which actually, I should count the turntables because both of the gear elements on the tables are actually used as gears. Like, they're not just pivots. So, yeah. Credit to LEGO. It's so interesting seeing a LEGO set use turntables with their gear elements as gears. Speaking of which, this now plugs into this. Like so. Ta-da! And now, yeah, as that turns, that little axle pivots. And I believe this will control the Earth's tilt and keep it pointing sidereal. Oh, okay, yeah. Actually, let's quickly talk about one other thing. Ooh. Yee, I like. But yeah, no, let's talk about one thing. So, I mentioned before, I built my own orrery based on Kerbal Space Program. And one of the interesting problems I ran into... So, the reason why I designed it based on Kerbal Space Program as opposed to... Okay, I guess it's just asking me to double check something. Yeah, that looks right. Yeah, it's asking me to pay close attention. Attention paid. Right, where was I? Oh yes, so yeah. So I was doing the research. The reason why I wanted to make a model of Kerbal Space Program as opposed to our solar system, twofold. One, I wanted to do the math myself. I wanted simply doing the model is one thing, but I wanted to figure out all the numbers. I wanted to actually do the exercise of figuring things out on my own. Two, and this was another one which went hand in hand with it, was I really wanted something unique. I wanted something really clever, something different, something that no one's ever done before. Also, three, I love Kerbal Space Program. If the intro was not a big tip-off. Yeah, I've been a huge fan of that game since way back in the early days. Does anyone remember Trydyingtolive? That's an old name. He got me into KSP originally. I'll link their channel in the description. But yeah, don't hold your breath. They have not been active for ages. Sad face. But yeah, no, I really love Trydyingtolive's videos. But anyway, off topic. So yeah, I wanted Kerbal Space Program because it was different, unique, something nobody ever done before. I thought it would be a cool little fan project. But one of the things is I was looking at the KSP wiki and looking at the facts and figures, figure out, okay, so how long is a day, how long is a month, how long is a year, etc, etc. And they gave numbers in 2 units. A solar day, and then a unit in this name here. And at the time, I only saw it written out as this word, and I had no idea how it was pronounced. And so, just looking at the word, my brain instantly was like, oh, it looks like this. And so I pronounced it as sidereal. makes sense, you know? I guess, like, you know, it looks like the word side followed by the word reel. Sidereal. So you got a solar day and a sidereal day. And I guess it kind of makes sense, like, you're looking off to the side for something real? I don't understand the etymology, but sure, let's go with that. And so, for the longest time, like, I was doing not talks, but I was, like, presenting my model and, you know, saying the word sidereal. I'm like... a few years later, I watched a video on Vsause. Michael here. I watched a Vsause video, and they were talking about gyroscopics of all things, and talking about orbits. Oh no, it wasn't gyroscopics, it was orbits. Yeah, screw it. I'll put a link, if I can find the video, I'll put a link to it in the description. But yeah, so yeah, they were talking about these things, and one of the things that they brought up was the word sidereal. I'm like, oh, that's a fancy new word I never heard before. I looked at the transcript, and I'm like, oh, is that the word I was calling sidereal this whole time? Oh, I'm an idiot. I mean, to be fair, like, that was the first time I heard the word spoken out loud, so can you really blame me for thinking it was pronounced sidereal? But yeah, no, it's not sidereal, it's sidereal. Reasons. So, yeah. Ooh, we're using these as axles. Oh, curious. So, big gear goes here, and little gear goes here. Aw, look at them turn. I love it. Yeah, again, this set loves its 3-to-1 ratios, but if they work... Again, I'll do the math later, and I'll append the math at the end of this video, but yeah, I'm genuinely curious at this point. So wait, huh? Okay. So this flips over. Oh? Oh, that's curious. They have a 24 to 24 gearing. Huh. How interesting. Oh, actually, yeah, sorry. One other quick thing I just remembered I was supposed to correct at the beginning of the video. Right. So, I mentioned last time about seeing this little gearing with the two, what are they, 12 tooths. The two, like, tan 12 tooths, and saying, oh, I have seen that before in a Lego set, but there was a middle gear being driven by both of them, and I said it was from a tractor set. Well, quick correction, I was wrong. Typical. The set I was thinking is this one, this adorable dinky little tractor, and it has a really cool little drive mechanism where it, as it drives along, the little grass cutting blades in the back rotate. And the way it's driven, you have a 20 to 12, and then that drives a black 12 to another black 12, which then drives these 36 tooth gears. And this was what I was thinking of, but yeah, clearly not the same mechanism, but still really clever how they managed to get that to work. And the fact the first 12 does not collide with the 36 is really interesting. Like, okay, it's not like a super close call, but still, I love that. I love that just works. That they can get away with that, and it just moves along, and yeah, really cool little effect of like the two blades spinning. Also, a bunch of 16 tooth gears hiding in there for the steering, which, okay, that's kind of neat. So yeah, this was the set I was thinking of, but clearly not the same mechanism, so I apologize. Right. So, right, this goes this way now. And... oh, interesting. They're using these little clips, I guess, as a standoff to add a little bit of height. So we now clip on like this. Like so. Yeah, that's cool. They're using that as a height. Like, I guess typically you would use a 1x3 in its place with then two standard pins. Like, that's how I would have done it instead of using this, you know, specialized piece. But hey, if you already have a bunch of them in your set, why not use that piece? Oh, and a 1x3 not 1x3, just a 3 long axle. A 2-dimensional axle. Wow. What will LEGO think of next? Am I forgetting a piece? No. Okay, so flipping her over to the top side now. Okay, yeah, that's neat. That would be driving the day-night cycle. Alright, so now we need what? That's a good question. I'm a little confused. Did I forget a piece? Oops. Let's see. I think I forgot a piece. Oh no. Not again. Oh, hang on. What? Oh, yes, I did. Oops! Where those two blue pins are, they're supposed to be one of these pieces. Wah, wah. Alright, let's see how... okay, looks like I can just yank this one off and be right as rain. Okay, not a huge issue. Silly me. Yoink. Then just plug you in. So, and then put you back together. Right. You know what, screw it. Just to fill a little bit of time, something I will admit, completely off topic, but you know what, screw it. It's my channel, I get to talk whatever I want. Where was I? Okay, yeah, so I put this together, I did that. Yes. So yeah, completely off topic, but something I'll admit I've been watching a bunch of lately. Like, I've been a fan of them for a while now, but I don't know. Over this past weekend, I've just been watching, like, a lot of them. Is a little internet series called Chikn Nuggit. And my gosh, it is so adorable. And just really damn funny, too. Like... now we need the rings. If you like it, put a ring on it. But yeah, no, I've just been absolutely adoring the Chikn Nugget shorts lately. If I had to choose a favorite character, ooh, Basil, easily Basil, or no, Basil. Which, okay, it took me a long time to realize his name is a pun. Like, all the other ones are pretty straightforward of, like, chicken nugget is, well, chicken nuggets, french fry, ice cream, yeah, etc, etc. All of them are based on foods. And then you got Basil, which is like, why Basil? Why like a human-shaped character? As, French Fry points out numerous times, doesn't fit in at all. But then eventually it clicked on me. It's like thyme. Oh, like the seasoning thyme. Oh, basil. Basil is also a seasoning, or a herb rather, not a seasoning, a herb. Herbs can be used as seasoning, but yeah, like okay, you got thyme the herb, you got basil the herb, and it's just misspelled basil. I get it now. Clever, very clever. Right. Is it the top or the bottom ring that the stickers go on? Top ring. Okay, so right. Which slot does this? Oh, okay, so interesting. So yeah, you have these axle holes, and yeah, very important they go in the correct position, because this is a rotating shaft. Oh, okay, yeah, this one is a rotating shaft, so you don't want to stick the axle hole through that. But yeah, so definitely really love Basil. Easily my favorite. Coffee is a fun second favorite. She is just so sweet, and the shenanigans between her and Ice Cream. As a quick side note, I love coffee. Or sorry, I love cheeseburger. Cheeseburger and coffee have such a cute chemistry, and I just love coffee. Yes, I love coffee, but I also love cheeseburger just in general. But I know this will make me sound awful, and fair enough, I'm kind of an awful person, but I love Cheeseburger's scream. Like, there's quite a few shorts where something startling happens and Cheeseburger just, like, squeaks at the top of her lungs, and it's the most funny thing ever. It's, like, brilliant comedic timing. Well played, series, well played. Alright, so we got this, and interesting that this gear is acting like an idler gear, where it's just transmitting torque between this. We get a gear train, which, yeah, don't really see all too often, mostly because they're kind of inefficient, and it's like, why would you use more gears when usually two gears are enough? But sometimes you need to just translate rotation across a short horizontal distance, and it's too short that chain doesn't really make sense, but it's too long that simply one set of gears won't quite reach it. So sometimes a train of gears is the correct call. Or sometimes in this case, the middle gear actually does have a useful function. But in this case, this becomes the idler gear as well. Also, if you're wondering, yes, I have seen this blue gear before. Very cool little piece as well. I do remember, like, for the longest time, yeah, so this is, this has, like, little clutch dogs in it, which are meant to engage with a rotating clutch dog slide, I guess, that moves back and forth to engage for, like, transmissions. For the longest time, there was only the 16-tooth variant, which is in bright red. In fact, I have one right here. You can see, yeah, buried in there. And then you can actually see, yeah, the clutch dog carrier, which connects the bottom gear to the top gear. And yeah, both of these gears are connected to each other, but freely spin on the axle. Admittedly, there's a lot of backlash between the gears, but, you know, it's a sacrifice that must be made. Okay, looks like I need to add a part that was supposed to add a few steps ago, but hush. Don't say a word. Something by your mockingbird. Yeah. Also, as a quick aside, something else I've been really getting into, other than just the shorts, is the music. Oh my gosh, I've absolutely been loving the soundtrack to Chikn Nugget. Mostly open source stuff mostly like what's the word? Like copyright free music and all that. Which okay, cool. But yeah. Oh wait. Oh, okay, it goes this way around. And then this simply snaps in like so. But yeah. Of the music, there's a few songs that definitely stand out. What I would consider like the theme song is Bugsy. I'll link everything in the description. But yeah, so you got that one, which is such an iconic song. At least it feels iconic, at least to me. Sort of the intro song, if you will, or at least part of one of their intros. And then, ooh, this is a neat little construction. Know what we're doing here. All right. What else was there? I set you aside. What else was there? Oh yes, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So sorry. And, poor Cheeseburger and her potted plant. Aww. And then it gets healthy in the sunlight and she's just like, so pissed off. It's like, God damn it! Relatable. Very, very relatable. Not that I'm much of a botanist, but just, I screw up and then immediately something good happens. Like, why did it not happen a moment before I screwed up? Damn it. Whatever. Live and learn, I guess. But yeah, so yeah, that song, and then... Oh, there's another song that I was, like, scratching my head over for the longest time. Like, what the hell? Like, this feels so familiar. I feel like it's on the tip of my tongue, and... well, that feeling hasn't quite gone away. I did find the actual song or that they use in the episode. It's the one where Cheeseburger and Coffee are feeding ducks in the park, and then Coffee gets up and becomes a mother of sorts and like gets the little baby duckies to follow her, which is so adorable. And yeah, I tried searching the comments being like, okay, does anyone ask the question, what song is this? Usually you can find that, but nope, everyone's just gushing about them feeding the peas, which fair enough, like good, to show, healthy food and all that for the duckies, and it's really cute. Yeah, and then the other half is just gushing about Cheeseburger just being so cute and adorable. Oh, okay. I'm like, so they want me to put this here, but the axle's in the way. I can't put this here. Like, if I slide it on, it doesn't fit. I'm like, But in the picture, they actually show, oh, this rotates. Good doy. So yeah, I rotate it sideways, then assemble it. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Also, really interesting that they're using these, like, modified 3x5s only on the diagonal. So we got pin, 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 and all of it's just taking full advantage of the fact that, yeah, like, this alternates between vertical and horizontal, but it's just using the horizontal pin holes. So yeah, that's so cool. So cool! As my friend would say. That is so cool. So yeah, and we get more of these in gold. How lovely. Bling bling, baby. Alright, So yeah, I eventually did find a song, forget what its title is, sorry, the description's gonna be a mile long, but I can't help myself, so I'll put it down there. Right. So yeah, that's what I've been up to lately. What about you? How has your day been? Mine's been pretty good. Went had a friend's birthday recently. Had a lot of fun. Ate lots of nachos. Very good time. Alright, so what are we doing next? Curious, okay. Right, how do I do this? Alright, so add that there, and then the last of the gold. And then this, what? This feels like an interesting challenge. Right. Okay, yep. And then she just pops together. Come on, in we go. Okay, that, like that. And then this guy like that. Bada bing, bada boom. Nice. Alright. Looking pretty good. If I do say so myself. Ali shell. Alright, what's next? Oh yes. Yes, we're adding some stabilization wheels just to keep this center element, well, stable, which, yeah, really clever, really neat little thing that they have little roller wheels. They're just using this tiny little train wheel element, which, actually, one other thing which I picked up from the LEGO store is this set, a LEGO Creator, a little high-speed train, which is not standard LEGO scale, it's actually like half scale or something, which is really cute. I don't know, I kind of like that scale. It's almost HO scale, believe it or not. And yeah, I've played around with a few mocks in that scale, and it's a really interesting sort of in-between scale, which I don't see many people actually building in, but I don't know, I think it's kind of interesting building LEGO in sort of pseudo HO scale. I say pseudo because it's not exact, but, you know, it's whatever. Close enough, I guess. Okay, so, I see. Right, curious, how does this go together? Okay, so we have the wheel, we have a little antenna joystick piece. I see, that just sticks in there, and then... cool. Does this rotate? Yes, it does. It meant to rotate. Oh. I think so. Okay, good enough. And then just clips in, like so. Okay, and then just repeat 3 more times. I think I can manage that. God damn. Now I got that stupid song in my head. I'm sorry, so sorry. Yeah. Oh, as a quick aside, I'll admit, so that was actually the first video that I got into. Like, that was how I was first introduced into the series of Chikn Nugget. And, I watched a few other videos after that, and I'm like... So, for the longest time, I thought that was Chikn Nugget's voice actor singing. Turns out, no, unfortunately not. Some other girl singing. Yeah, I'm not sure if they are officially credited or not, or just, like, in the description of the video I'll link, it just says little girl, so maybe they are anonymous, so, okay, you know, fair enough. If anyone actually does know the proper singing credit, please let me know. If not, I'll just say little girl. But yeah, for the longest time I thought it was actually Chikn Nugget, or Cheeseburger's voice actor. But right. And there we go, which... I know those are supposed to just be support wheels, but... I don't know, there's something alien about it. Like, they kind of look like little flying saucers. Ooh. Pretty neat. Alright. Sticker time. Right, yeah. Yay, more stickers. I actually do mean yay, because, yeah, I genuinely like stickers. I feel like I'm a minority on this one, but stickers are fun. In fact, earlier today, it was earlier today that I saw a video which, I forget what video I was watching, but I do remember watching another, like, Lego video where, yeah, the person was complaining about stickers. I'm like, why is this such a popular opinion? Why does every Lego fan seem to hate stickers for? Oh, that's right. The video was talking about, a very old Lego train line called My Own Trains. Not to be confused with, like, the fandom creation sort of, yeah. So, not to be confused with the fandom creation acronym My Own Creation, or MOC, M-O-C, which refers to fan-made Lego sets, or not sets, but fan-made Lego creations, and fan-made, like, own original ideas and, like, own builds, custom builds, and all that. My Own Train was an officially officially made Lego set from, what was it, the 90s, I want to say? Like, yeah, something like that. Maybe early 2000s, something like that. But yeah, interesting video talking about the history of it and pros and cons about the series. But yeah, no, one thing that they complained about is it had a lot of stickers, and it's like, what? I don't know. I mean, maybe it's just me, but I don't get the sticker hate. Interesting. So I just realized the stickers are sort of symmetrical, with the distinguishing feature being a little black line running along one edge of the sticker to denote orientation. That's really interesting. Nice little detail. It looks like the black line goes down to the bottom. This is bottom, that is the top. Alright, so we do the full moon here, which... Okay, so... Hang on. I'm gonna hesitate for 1 second because... Yeah, this is one detail which I noticed. I'm not sure. Let me hold off on the stickers for 1 second, because this is one little detail that sort of bothers me, sort of annoys me, sort of gets under my skin, and maybe I can fix this on Lego's behalf. So, looking at the box art, yeah, sorry about the glare. But yeah, looking at the box art, I'm not sure if you can see, but, so yeah, we have the moon here, and it's right now facing towards the sun. And then we have the ring, and if we look here, on this side, it looks like the side facing the sun is lit, the side facing away from the sun is black. That makes sense. But that only makes sense if you're an outside observer looking in. Like, it makes sense from this perspective, from where the camera is, but if you were on Earth itself looking at the moon, this should be reversed. The bright side should actually be to the left. And yeah, no, I'm wondering if I should actually intentionally do it wrong to fix that little mistake. Question is, how would I do that? Let's see. So yeah, so okay, so right, so the blue gear faces towards the sun. That is well established on the box art. Blue gear right there, black gear there. So yeah, blue gear faces towards sun, which means that from Earth's perspective, looking back, the moon should be fully bright back here, ignoring like, oh, what's it called? Lunar eclipses, I believe. Yeah, ignoring those, the moon should be fully lit as it comes around here, and it should be fully in shadow as it comes here. So those two are correct from Earth's perspective. So, right. Let's see. I'm gonna move the book over a little bit. Is there a way of keeping this stupid thing steady? Okay, I'm just gonna ram a part on just... There we go, perfect. Alright, so yeah. So the stickers, I'm gonna make them true from Earth's perspective. There we go. So that is correct. This is going to be a nightmare. Like, this is flat, but that won't stay. Okay, so... Oh yeah, and yeah, the black line goes down. Okay, so... Okay, hang on. I can fix this, because I only did the one. Okay, so yeah, keep them symmetrical, and then if I decide I need to flip it 180, I can do that as well. Right. So here's the other sticker, and once again the black line goes down. Let's see. Oh, this is going to be frustrating. Good thing I'm not having to hold the camera at the same time, but my goodness. My lord. Go. Not the straightest ever, but that'll do. Okay, so yeah, this makes sense from Earth's perspective, that when the moon is this way, it looks black. When it's this way, it looks bright. So that means that if it's this side, from Earth's perspective, if it's here, the left side of it should be illuminated, which means the left side should be illuminated, the right side should be dark. So, and if we're keeping the line to the bottom, yes, so I would be using this sticker. And yeah. Oh, but no, that becomes brighter as it goes there, so... Okay, so... Right, I'm gonna temporarily put the sticker back. There we go, nicely done. So, solution, flip her upside down. Oops. Dropping the pieces. Alright. That goes goes like that, and then this piece goes like this. I will get this technically correct. I am determined. Right, now we have the fiddly pieces to deal with. I see. Slight issue, but never mind. That's just annoying. In order to do it upside down, I'm gonna have to move that over as well, which means I'm gonna have to redo all this. Okay. Very well. Oh, jeez. Alright. The things I do for technical accuracy. Right. So, this comes undone. Blue gear comes off. This comes off. Black gear comes off. And then the whole ring, yep, just comes off. And then I can simply rotate it like so. And now she can just simply slide back in. Yeah, come on. There we go. And then you go in there, like that, slide back in. Alright, perfect, cool. Alright, and for the sake of argument, I'm just gonna stick these in like so. Like, really. Doesn't really matter which way they go. There. See? Now ain't that easier? Alright, so the dark side goes, again, towards the sun. Somewhat ironically, but yeah. The dark side goes towards the sun. Voila! Now we have the dark side, and then the bright side. And so now... right, this... Huh. Oh, okay, okay. Okay, yes, yes, no, yes. Wait, what? What? Okay, suddenly I feel confused. Is this a parity error? Is there a chirality to this that I just simply cannot beat? No, surely it must have symmetry. Surely I must be able to reverse this, no? Okay, so... quick sanity check. Okay, so according to the picture... yeah. So according to the picture, the black line is at the bottom. And... if we have it like that, we have the half crescent, the bright side towards the sun from the outside perspective. So, yeah, it's held up like this, and then using the top sticker with the line at the bottom, the bright side's towards the sun, where the blue gear is. And then it gets darker towards the sun and then brighter away, which is how they want it to be. Now, if I rotate it 180, the problem is... yeah, no, the problem with doing this is that the mostly bright side is towards that. So I cannot orientate that this way. That just does not work. So I have to use the sticker this way up. Oh, and so it doesn't matter if I choose either sticker, either or, the bright side will always face towards the sun. Huh. Well, gosh darn it. Yeah, no, there is a parity to this. There is some chirality or something that physically does not allow me to have it the way I want it. God darn it! Stupid mathematics and all that. Darn, why is this the way it is? I guess because... Right, there are three things that make it asymmetrical. You got the line, you got the side the bright spot is on, and then you got the phasing, which direction the brightest moon is. And so with these three things combined, it gives these stickers a very distinct orientation that I just cannot beat. Which, well, time to disassemble and reassemble again. Cue montage. Alright. And we are back. Ignore the part where I accidentally crushed one of these wheels underneath the ring. No. Don't need to pay attention to that. Alright, so I flipped it back around again, so the black line is once again on the bottom. Which, yeah. This little technical error frustrates me more than it probably should, but whatever. It is what it is, and unfortunately, it is just gonna have to exist because by the rules of logic, I can't have my cake and eat it too. So, alright, fine, whatever. Now comes the tricky part. Trying to put this sticker on. I am in frame, okay, yeah. Nope. Not happy with that. Okay, I believe that is true. And there we go. Yeah. Not too bad. They gave a pretty good amount of margin on the left and right. But still, that is a long sticker, so... Woo! I feel sorry for any poor sods who are less experienced at sticker placement. That, like, yeah, this is a tricky sticker. It's not a terribly huge sticker in terms of just sheer size, but it's a very long sticker, which makes it a challenge. It's a long, thin sticker, so if you're not exactly square with the placement of it, it's very easy for it to fall off the edge of the part. Not to mention, there's no obvious center. Like, with these, you can line up with the pin, or the axle in this case. With these, there's no, like, you're trying to find the invisible midpoint between these with no obvious reference, so... Yeah, I was just sort of using this wheel as a reference, but it can move, so I just sort of was trying to line it up as best as I could and pray that good is good enough. And in the end, yeah, I'm still miffed at the technical inaccuracy though. But, you know, we can't all be perfect, I guess. I mean, heaven knows I make plenty of mistakes, so... Oh well, I can't really be too harsh on them, but still. Whatevers. I think I'm more annoyed. I'm more annoyed that, or I'm less annoyed that they made a mistake. I mean, I'm annoyed at that, but I'm more annoyed at the fact that I cannot fix the mistake, even though I'm aware of the mistake. And they gave me 4 stickers to play with, and in theory, I could put them in any orientation I like. Except, no matter what orientation I would put them in, it'd be wrong. It just factually would be wrong. There's no way of solving that. So, yeah, no, that kind of annoys me that there is no fixing it, even though I'm well aware an error has occurred. But hey, I got the day-night axle in place. Okay. Actually, no, that is 1/3 the day-night cycle. But, yeah. Right. Moving on. So now we get some really interesting things. Yeah, get to build up the support that holds Earth up. So, need to add this to this blue beam. Oh yeah, as a quick aside, I remember for Lego Technic's, what was it, the 20th? Yeah, it was the 20th year celebration. All of the sets that came out that year had a white 1x3 beam, and it was printed with a 24-tooth gear wheel on one side, and then the number 20. Celebrating the 20th year, which, yeah, that was a really nice little commemorative piece that, like I said, came out in every set that year and was incorporated into the build in some fashion. Which, yeah, was really neat. I really like that. Okay, so... Okay, so this goes this way in. Yeah, and way down there you have the 2 pins, which are part of these sort of crisscross beams. I need to learn the name of them. And in you go. And so that would provide some rigidity to this. So yeah, this whole turntable, I believe, is just for... Oh, I see. Yeah, right. So, yeah, this rotates to give us our tilt, or counter rotation of the tilt, and then this whole upper turntable is our what's the word? Lunar cycle? Lunar orbit. Right. Moving along. Got up in. Whatever. It's been fun. I've enjoyed this. For any of those who are sticking around and still watching this, congratulations, I guess. I don't know why. I guess you got nothing better to do, which I would say get a life, but don't bite the hand that feeds you. Don't insult the audience. A really nice trick you can do to flatten out pins is just place them on a table and push down hard. Right. Okay, so yeah, this needs to rotate. Is this symmetrical? I think it is. Yeah, it looks like it's some. I'm looking at the bottom. Yeah. yeah, I believe this whole section is symmetrical on the bottom here, so it does not matter. So that just simply like so. And yeah, no, that's really this is gonna be something. I can't wait to see all of it moving all at once. Ah, okay, now we add the 24 tooth here on here. And yes. Like, I love that they included this detail. Like, one, it would have been so easy for LEGO just to have Earth simply rotate on its axis, which, yeah, this model did. Like, here Earth is just simply rotating in place, and it doesn't, there's no tilt to it. But I love that LEGO went the extra mile, the extra step to give Earth a slight tilt. I think that's such a brilliant little touch. Such a nice little detail. Right, that actually is like that. Oh yeah, using this one again as an axle, which... Alright, that's really neat. Because it has a too long axle, it can be useful that you can have a gear here and then power something to it that attaches there. And you can use the pin side structurally as support. Like so. And then this element here. Oh yeah. And can I just say, I really love little universal joints. They're so adorable. And yeah, such a nice little element. I definitely remember really wanting to get a bunch of those as a kid. And being like, oh, they look like so much fun. And they are. Universal joints can be a lot of fun to play with. And really fun to make builds with them. But they're also kind of fragile, so you have to be gentle with them. Can't be too rough with them. Right. And now we're building the frame that actually holds Earth up. Just like this. Where Alright, and so now that's the frame done. And then that slides in. And then connects up like so. Let's see. There we go. Yeah, that's really neat. A little bit stiff. There we go. Oh yeah, speaking of stiff, I guess this is something I should have addressed way earlier, but I was complaining about this shaft being a little stiff, a little hard to turn, but yeah, as it turns out, that makes no difference. Like, it's being driven by this gear, and it turns around slightly more than once a year, so it's a relatively slow turning shaft, so it, yeah, being a little bit stiff does not really make a big difference, so yeah. Well, it would be nice if it turned smoothly. It's not at all an issue. Wait a second. Huh. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, something else Okay, I'm gonna call Lego out on something else. So in this step, they show I'm building Earth, and I need to put 2 pins into these holes to create this, to make Earth. That makes sense, except on the box art, this is the back of the box, and there's a top-down view of the Earth and Moon, and if you look closely, no pins. You do not see the black pins where Earth is. And I'm like, so what's holding Earth together? Is there a long axle through the center that holds Earth together? But you don't see the axle either. So maybe this axle holds too long internal? No, it's not. It's only one long internal. It does take up a little bit inside, but yeah, its depth is only one long. So yeah, a little bit of an inaccuracy between the printed box art and the physical toy, which I think is such an interesting little detail I noticed. But yeah, so let's put Earth together, as you know, as one does, just casually assembling Earth. Make sure I get the continents right way around. Behold, a planet fit for life. Mostly. I will give credit. It is a really neat. I get the feeling this is going to be a collector's item in the not too distant future. Like, I mean, we've got Lego globes before. We've got like itty bitty teeny tiny ones for minifigures, but yeah, this is a nice like big globe that I would love to see somebody making sort of an atlas sort of mini build of a statue like holding this on its shoulders. I think that would be really cool. But yeah, so let's just put Earth in its place, making sure I get its orientation right, and there we go. That doesn't turn. There we go. Look at it go. Alright, it spins fast. But yeah, Earth just spins really quickly. But fun fact, I did look this up. So yeah, Earth is a relatively fast spinning planet in our solar system. But at least as far as the terrestrial planets go, yeah. But then I looked it up. Turns out Saturn and Jupiter, these massive balls of fire, well, not fire, but massive balls of smoke and cloud, yeah, just apparently they have stupidly fast rotation speeds, like almost half the rotation time as Earth, like twice our rotational speed as Earth. Like, what? How can something so big rotate so quickly and not just simply fling itself to pieces? I mean, okay, I know why. It's really bloody heavy. Like, being so big, it's got a lot of gravity, but still, that fact surprised me. And like, this was an official NASA website, so yeah, pretty trustworthy source. But yeah, it kind of blew my mind to realize that, yeah, Saturn and Jupiter have relatively short day-night cycles. Yeah, they spin relatively quickly. Alright, so now we're building up the moon, which is relatively simple. So what? Oh, just a 3 long. So Okay, and now we add the gold pointer. Oh, oops. I assembled this wrong. There we go. There we go, and then another piece like so. And then a little ski pole. And a little Technic ball. Little ball and socket piece in light gray. And that's the moon. And then this simply clips in like so. Which, actually, it doesn't really have any... Yeah, it can just pivot, which... okay. Sure, I guess. Just have to make sure I don't bump into it. Oh, there's one more... Ah, the driving gear, I see. So, that goes together like so. And yeah, we're nearly done. Huzzah! About bloody time. I finally get to go home. Actually, I still have to figure out the mathematics, but I'll do that tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. You'll see it appended to this video, but yeah. Right, and that just simply flips on like so. And then, okay, so yeah, okay, so yeah, they are telling us what orientation everything should be in. So, right. The moon should be pointing towards this, oh yes, pointing towards the sun, or away from the sun, like this. And Earth should be pointing, so it's winter time in North America. And then, right. And then the arm should be in December and January in the New Year's. So, I might have to zoom out for this. And now we put these two together. Oops. So easy to nudge these out of alignment. Okay, so how does this go together? Okay, so... Oh. This goes on this side, apparently. Okay. Right. Come on. Go together. All together now. All together now. On. Yeah, almost. There we go. And then that clips in, that clips in. I feel like I have to get the gears. That's gonna annoy me. It's not quite lined up right. And I feel like the only way to fix it is by getting the gears to skip a tooth or something. Is there a way of finagling this? I'm gonna have to fix that off camera. Anyway, I'm not gonna worry about it right now. Okay, so yeah, they do have a nice illustration of the way it's supposed to be orientated and all that. Okay, and then we simply an L-beam with 3 pins in it. No, wait, the other side. Ugh. Put that around. Okay. Again, this time let's not make a fool of ourselves. Right, and then that clips in like so. There we go. And then lastly, this beam attaches to the bottom there. Come on. Whoop. It went flying. Hey look, a flying beam. You know, actually, as a quick aside, I always wanted to, I always sort of wondered, could you build a working airplane completely out of Lego? And, I mean, it sounds a little bit ridiculous. Because it kind of is kind of ridiculous. And, for the most part, no, like, but I was thinking maybe using base plates as the wings. Something doesn't feel quite right. It doesn't feel like it wants to. I realize I'm doing this when I have, if I want to fix what my problem, I'm gonna have to take this apart again, so. Double work. Sorry, I have to do this off camera. Just get this thing together. Erg. This thing is being difficult. Hey, got it. Alright, got that beam in place. And then this last piece just snaps in place like so. Come on, there we go. And there we go. This piece in here. Yeah, this one over here. And I believe that is done. Alright, I can breathe. I can enjoy my new Lego orrery. Here's a whole parts list, quite a few selections. And, yeah, let's see it work. Aw, that is lovely. Oh, okay. Yep, nope. As much as I struggled to put it all together, it's gonna go off frame. Oops. As much of a struggle as it was to get it all together, I'll give credit, like, it's running smooth. Like, I was very worried when I was turning Earth that it felt a little on the stiff side. And I knew it was geared up quite a lot, so yeah, friction becomes such a big issue if you're gearing something up. This camera's not wide enough. There we go. But yeah, no, man, that is so lovely. And okay, again, I need to actually do the math, but just from a gut feeling, this feels about right. This looks close. Like, I want to say that this is close to being correct in terms of its timing. But yeah, the fact that they got the Earth to remain on its axial tilt is such a beautiful detail. Like, they really did not have to put in that level of polish. But the fact that they did just is something else. Right. So, in terms of the mechanism, I guess I promised I would explain. Yeah, so very cleverly. So, in how do I so yeah, you have the right. So, I guess let's just, because we're already here, let's go through the whole mechanism. So, power comes in through the main crank and it splits. So you have the gear up there to drive the day, or to drive the year cycle. It goes down to a set of gears which are impossible to film due to lighting issues. But yeah, a pair of, you can barely make them out, but there's a pair of gears in there. Yeah, you can make them out better. Here's one of them. But yeah, from there it drives a set of 16-tooth gears here, 8-tooth to this 36, and then a 20 to 60-tooth turntable, and that drives the year, driving the whole arm around. And then from the input again, the same gear, we have it driving up to this 20-tooth gear over here, which then drives this main axle across. Now, to give you your solar day, the sun's rotation. Okay, solar days, it means a different thing, but yeah, to give the sun's sidereal day, goes up through this set of gears on the back here, then driving another bevel gear, which ultimately turns the sun around. Lovely. And then, very cleverly, as the whole arm sweeps around, this center section is rigidly affixed to the base, and there's a little gear inside there, a little on the turntable, and as the arm swings round, a set of, yeah, a little bevel gear driven off of that drives this arm, which then drives another bevel gear, driving another turntable, which then ultimately powers this section here, which drives the tilt of Earth, which gives you your seasons. And so, yeah, you're able to do double duty, where you are able to sort of take the gear ratio from here, and then drive it out to the end of the arm via this. You can copy paste gear ratios with that arm, which that's so clever. And then to drive everything here, we got this upper axle driving a pinion, driving the blue 20 gear, which then drives the turntable, and that gives us our lunar cycle, the lunar orbit. And then from there, it drives another 20 tooth down through 24 tooths up to the 8 tooth, then an axle all the way through the center to the 24 tooth, and then finally to another 8 tooth, which then drives Earth, which is quite convoluted. There's quite a lot going on in here, and I love it. It is a thing of beauty. Just, that is some lovely clockwork engineering. yeah, just ah, that is wonderfully complicated, but also elegant, very elegant. It's such a clever little design that, and the fact that it all just works. It's also getting hard to crank because if I'm holding the arm still, it means the thing I'm cranking is rotating around. So, but yeah, no, that is that is something else. I can stare at this all day. Now all I have to do is somehow find a way to motorize this thing. Yeah, no, that makes me happy. Anyway, moving aside. Right. There's a... I'm not sure why I get 2 black pins. I'm wondering if I forgot a pin somewhere. I have to double check. As far... Yeah. I got a bushing... Oh, right. That's not part of this. But yeah, as far as spare parts go, quite a few pieces. Bear in mind, some of these are because I intentionally left parts out and I replaced them with other parts. A lot of the pins... yeah, I'm pretty sure that was part of this set. And then, of course... Oh, I'm not even in frame. God damn it. Sorry, my apologies. There we go. Yeah, so quite a selection of small parts and then these big crescent pieces. Bear in mind, a lot of these pieces, so a lot of the pins came from the fact that I don't have the crescents in place, and the pins were there to support the crescents, as well as a lot of these yellow pins were supporting the sun, or like holding the sun together. But I replaced them with the black pins, so now I have a bunch of these yellow ones spare. And so yeah, right. So with all that, I'm gonna cut it here, and then I'll circle back around in a moment to explain a few other things. So yeah, take care, and see you soon. Alright, and we are back, and here she is, folks, all complete. Although, something doesn't quite feel right. Can't quite put my finger on it. Something looks different. Oh, did you get a haircut? Alright, so you may have noticed I made a few changes. If you haven't noticed, well, if you have noticed, good for you. So basically, I took a page out of Lego Batman's book, and I only work in black, and sometimes very, very dark gray. So basically what I did is I completely disassembled basically everything, and wherever I found a brightly colored part, I replaced it. So the brightly colored cross frame at the bottom, black and dark gray. Ignoring the blue pins. Actually, I don't mind the blue pins. Like, the little bit of blue accent amongst the black, I'm actually okay with. It's when you had those large, egregious parts that were brightly colored. Like, looking just at the box art, you can see, obviously you have the bright white paneling, orange rings, but also you have like that blue element down there. Absolutely useless. So I simply replaced that element with one of these pins with an axle connector at the end, like a little bushing connector at the end. All of these rods on the side that were supposed to be holding these crescents, whatever you call them, Yeah, I replaced them with black ones, as you can see. There were quite a few parts inside the frame that were essentially redundant that I basically could get away with either straight up removing or replacing with smaller or similar parts that were either dark, gray, or black. And so yeah. Now you may notice that despite all this, I still have these bright orange rings. And let me tell you something. Well, there's a good reason why they are so bright orange. Two good reasons. One, these are the only rings I own, so I don't have any other color rings to replace them with. And two, and more importantly, they don't make them in any color, any neutral colors. Like, they are all bright, fabulous colors. And I mean, don't get me wrong, I love my bright, colorful Lego, but don't get me wrong, I love my bright, colorful Lego, but yeah, in this case, I kill for something in neutral color. Dark gray, I'll even sell for a light gray, but if you can make it in black, I'll be a happy camper. But no, Lego does not make this element in any of those colors, not even white, for some reason. Like, I checked. It comes out in a few colors. What is it, like yellow, I think? I think blue, maybe, like a light blue. Fun enough, lime green. It comes out in a lime green, and fun enough, it also comes out in pearl gold, the same as that little roller element. Which, at first glance, I was like, great, you know, some gold rings. That sounds fabulous. I love it. It'll definitely complement the gold aesthetic of the other pieces. Alas, two problems. One, it only comes out in a really bloody expensive set. And two, you only get one part. A single golden ring for that entire set. So for me to make the modification, I would have to buy two of those sets just for the rings. And I may be a frivolous spender, but I do have my limits. So moving along, something else I have modified is the Earth Moon, like, arm tip thingy. What do you call this section? I, again, stripped it down bare to its most basic parts and then replaced anything that was egregiously, eye-wateringly colorful. Mostly you'll notice the Earth axis stand, this section here, that was like light gray before, and then some white elements as well. Like, again, you can see on the box just how bloody colorful this was. Like light gray, white. I believe there was some blue down there as well. Here, basically all black, and then a little bit of gray. Same thing for the turntable as well. Well, the turntable itself has not changed. There are... yeah. So, around here, where my finger is, you have elements here that were originally in bright red for some reason. Again, change them out for black. The only part that I could have changed out for black, but I decided not to, are down here by the feet. You have these light gray half beams here and all around. And I decided not to simply because it would have been more effort than... Well, I don't exactly swimming in parts of this element in black, so I used most of what I have for this section here. And I felt like this was the more important. These ones kind of blend away, they kind of hide. The only one is probably the frontmost one, which, yeah, that one's pretty obvious, but the ones on the side are fairly mundane, and the one on the back you'll never see. So, yeah. Oh, and like I said, the other thing is if I zoom in, let's see. Yes, so you can very clearly see the 8-tooth and then the 2/16s. And yeah, before this was all covered up by a lot of long beams, making it very hard to see in there. But now, well, camera's not really doing it justice, but yeah, just looking at it, it's way easier to see into all the clockworks of the internals. So yeah, very happy with the way it's looking now. It's not perfect, like, could definitely be better, could have more interesting shaping, but I definitely think this is a huge improvement over what we got in the set, sadly. Alright, with that said, let's talk about a few criticisms and a few opinions, because after putting the set together, in the interim between then and now, I did my homework, I did my research, I did a lot of watching of videos and seeing what other people's opinions are, and basically just getting a general feel of what do people think of this set. And the reception is lukewarm. It's mixed. It's mostly positive, but a few criticisms here and there. One, a lot of people seem to agree that the color palette is all over the place, and yeah, I agree with that, hence why I made all the modifications. People love the mechanism. Generally, everyone's really impressed how smooth it runs and how pretty it is and all that in terms of motion. And again, I would agree. I think it's mesmerizing, absolutely mesmerizing. I love watching it go around. But there are a few criticisms. One very obvious one is the Earth and the Sun orbs, which are made of two hemispheres that are connected by pins. And yeah, I can definitely see where the criticism comes from. One, you got these pretty gnarly holes here and here. Two, the actual, well, bad contrast, but right. The actual shape of it is not round. You get these bumps that stick out, and yeah, they ruin the spherical nature of it, meaning that the rolled kind of funny. Something I mentioned earlier, but yeah, it seems like popular opinion, people tend to not like that. Actually, if I pop Earth off for a second, and we take a closer look, one other thing which people seem to take issue with, and I don't blame them entirely, is the printing on Earth. Now, for the most part, people are fine with the look of the printing. Like, the print itself, in terms of its aesthetic, I have not heard any complaints about. And yeah, it looks nice, although nothing up north, which a little bit too close to reality. At least we got a southern pole. With that said, a lot of people complain about the equator. There's a large margin around the equator, as well as the shearing in the Europe part, where you got this big shear line. Basically, the whole thing's twisted on us, and yeah, I can definitely see where the complaints are coming from. I understand. Like, yeah, it's an expensive set. I see why people want like really nice high quality prints on these parts. For me though, I don't know, call me a bit of a defeatist, call me a bit of whatever, you know, call me whatever. I don't really mind it so much. I don't know, maybe I'm just complacent, but yeah, again, I don't think it's too bad. Like, I don't know. It's fine. It doesn't really bother me that much. Don't get me wrong, it would have been really nice if it was perfectly seamless from top to bottom, perfectly matching. Funny enough, something I've noticed watching all these videos, every single set seems to have the exact same printing error in the exact same manner. Like, the southern hemisphere is shifted to the right of the northern hemisphere, which is shifted to the left. And so you get this tearing that is pretty consistent between different people, and so I find that really interesting that everyone seems to have the exact same issue. So yeah, let's see, what else is there? Yes, so as promised, the gear ratios. Something I wanted to figure out is what is the actual like timing and gear ratios, and for that, well, to quote Professor Farnsworth, I'm afraid we're going to have to use math. Dun dun dun! Behold, math! And numbers. Alright, so yeah. I went a little overboard. I definitely did my homework. So here we have a exploded view, or a side-on view of all of the gears and all the components. In orange we have the gears in the base. Green we have the gears that control Earth's tilt and which direction that tilt is, the precession of that. Yellow, which controls the sun's rotation. Gray, moon's, like the months of the moon. And then the blue gearing controls the day cycle for Earth. And then we got all of this. Yeah, pretty long. Now, the too long didn't math version of the story, something I found, a commonly cited number I found online, and I think it makes sense in terms of why people cite this number, but a lot of people say that this model, the Earth has the number of days in a year, according to the internet, is 364.5 days in a year, which, considering it, the actual number should be 365.25, that's pretty damn close. Like, bravo Lego, like, wow, 0.75 days in a year off, like, well done. That is some impressive stuff. Unfortunately, I'm going to break your bubble there. It's not that good. It's still pretty good, don't get me wrong, but there's a reason I call this the naive answer, because there's a bit of subtle nuance that a lot of people don't seem to get. I'll probably do a follow-up video where I explain the math in great detail and how I came to these numbers, but long story short is that, so as you're cranking, the way people came up with the number is you turn the crank a certain number of times and it turns the entire arm around once. And actually, to be precise, what was it? Oh, yes. So it was 243 turns of the crank for every 2 years, which is basic math. 243 divided by 2, 121.5. And so, you know, okay. And then Earth, sorry, off camera. Earth, if you follow the gear train, spins around 3 times every time you turn the crank. And so 120, oh yeah, what was it? And so 121.5 multiplied by 3 is 364.5. And yeah, that's a pretty good answer. But like I said, that's not quite the entire answer. The problem people are neglecting is that as the arm swings around, the gears inside the arm, specifically this upper... there it is. Specifically this upper shaft here, as it rotates, I need a better pointer. There we go. Yeah, this upper shaft here, this bevel gear, which mates with... Why did I make it all black? Now I can't show anything. this upper gear mating with this bevel gear. The thing is, as this arm rotates, this gear rotates with the arm, but this one rotates with the base because it's connected to this gear down here. And so, as a result, the very motion of the arm itself actually creates some more nuanced gear ratios. A very quick demonstration I can show is... Sorry. A very quick demonstration I can show is if I take off this 20-tooth gear here driving the turntable. There we go. Now if we hold the crank still and we move the arm around, we can see that Earth spins, and we can also see that the moon orbits. Well, specifically, it moves... It changes its phase relative to Earth and Sun. So yeah. And these motions do have an effect on the final ratio. And so I did actually go through and calculate all those little subtle nuances. And again, just to give you the final numbers I got. So fractionally, as the lowest common multiple, we got, for the crank, we turn it 729 times to get 6 years, 85 sun rotations. This is sidereal measurement, so I guess quick note about ways to measure a day. There are two common ways to measure days in celestial bodies. What's called sidereal, and the other which is called solar. Solar is basically just relative to the sun, so Earth points at the sun, rotates once around, and points at the sun again. That's solar. Sidereal is if you imagine a far-off star, it rotating around and pointing to the same star. Even if it's moved along the orbit a bit, it still points to the far-off star, even if it doesn't point to the sun anymore. And so you basically have to add or subtract 1 every year if you convert from one to the other. It's not much, but it is something, so you do have to pay attention to that. But anyway, so yeah. 729 turns of the crank equals 6 years, 85 sun rotations relative to distant stars, 79 moon orbits relative to the sun, and then 2,109 days, again relative to the sun. So to put some of those numbers in better context, here is a chart showing all of the relevant numbers. So on the left we have the number of the input, and then on the top the number comparing the number that is to. I don't explain good, but right, so as an example, doing all the math, actually figuring out the gear ratios, we have 351.5 days in a year. Not quite the perfect 364.5, but it's still close enough. 121.5 cranks per year, 14.166 sun rotations per year, 13.166 months per year, 1 year per year, go figure. Days per month, 26.696 days per month. And then 24.812 days per sun rotation. Which, okay. That one, you can be a lot more loosey-goosey with the actual numbers due to the fact that the equator spins faster than the poles, which seems really odd, but okay. Yeah, fluid dynamics on solar scales become very interesting, but moving on. And then finally we got 2.895 days per every turn of the crank. And so, yeah, again, I'll probably make a follow-up video going through the math in a lot more detail, showing how I actually come to all of these numbers and this result. But needless to say, it was a lot of fun. I thoroughly enjoyed like doing the math myself and actually figuring out everything. Before I close, I guess one other thing to point out. One criticism I saw online. Oh, what was her name? Sariel? I think that's pronounced. One tiny criticism which I found kind of hilarious when I understand where they're coming from, but they nitpicked about the fact that the moon doesn't move in and out away from the Earth, or Earth doesn't move in and out away from the sun. And then they also nitpicked that the moon is in plane with the sun, that its orbit doesn't have any tilt to it, which, I mean, sure, if you want to be really pedantic about everything, but I don't know. Like, it's only a couple of degrees, it's not much at all, and the actual eccentricity of the thing, which is how, like, oval the orbit is, again, relatively minor. It's not really something that most people would notice or even care about at the scales of, like, our solar system. So, I'm okay with the fact that this particular model has a flat orbit that is not, what's the word? Inclined. So, yeah, that is planet Earth and Moon in orbit around the Sun. Oh wait, what they call this set again? Planet Earth and Moon in orbit. Sorry, Sun, you don't get a mention. But yeah, that is this LEGO set, and once again, I'm very happy with it. Okay, yeah, it's not perfect. There are a few nitpicks, a few little grievances that, well, a few little grievances that I've manually went in and fixed myself. But, I mean, I guess that is half the charm of LEGO as a system, where you don't like something, build it yourself the way you do like it. And with that said, the mechanics, I'm still very impressed with how they got all the gears and all the machine to work together. And yeah, something that is universally praised, and I would agree, is just how buttery smooth it is. Like, it takes relatively little effort to turn the crank, and it just works. It's so smooth, and it's just mesmerizing. Like, I genuinely can just watch this go around all day and just have a good time. Just brings a smile to my face. And honestly, at the end of the day, isn't that what having fun is all about? Building LEGO and enjoying your time and just... I love it. Anyway, so, yeah. This has been the Headed Hamster, and, yeah. Building solar systems out of plastic bricks. Woo! Anyway, you have a fantastic one, folks, and I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye!